Okay, so welcome to the Mark Atwood Show, Adventures in a Meat Suit. In this episode, I'm speaking to my mum. Hello, mum.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fed up with these bloody instruments.
Instruments? What instruments? You got a guitar there or something?
No, this thing here, this
Oh, the
internet
phone.
thing.
Well, yeah. Well, so look, the reason I wanted to bring you on, mum, is because I was explaining cryptocurrency the other day to someone, and she was quite impressed with the way that I simplified it. And I was thinking, well, there are people still asking, asking me questions. How do I buy crypto? What is cryptocurrency? There's a lot of people that think they know what cryptocurrency is, but they don't actually. So I thought, well, what's the best way of me explaining cryptocurrency to people on my channel who don't understand it? And I thought, well, if I can make you understand it, because you don't know a thing about it, then that would be good, right?
That'd be a bloody miracle.
Okay, so let's start with a few questions. What do you think cryptocurrency is?
I really haven't a clue.
Okay, so that's a good starting point. So let's go back a little bit. What is money?
Um, Currency.
Yeah, but what is money?
What is money?
Currency is just another word for money. So what is money? How do you define what it is?
It's a tool
It's a tool for what?
to buy things. It's a tool to buy things.
Okay, that's a good start. So what's money based on? What's it worth?
Its worth is what the government says, I suppose. I
Ooh,
don't know. What's
interesting.
its worth?
You can look at the camera, mum, because we there you go.
Yeah, but I'm thinking here.
Oh, yeah, you doing your thinking face. Okay.
That's me thinking face. What is money? It's dictated by what the government tell us what it is, isn't it? It's a tool to use for buying things.
Yeah, but why has it got a value?
Why has it got a value? That's a good point, isn't it? I've never thought about that one before.
Okay, so let's the £5 note.
A £5 note, yes.
What does it say on the front of the £5 note?
Can I go and get one?
Yeah, if you want. Have you got one close to hand?
Well, it's in the kitchen, but
Well, what if I said that I'll just remind you of what it says because you'll know this. It says on the front, I promise to pay the bearer
I promised to pay the bearer. Yes, yes.
upon demand the sum of £5.
With pence, same with the 10 and the 20. Yeah,
Yeah, but that means that the £5 note, the £10 note, they're actually IOUs.
yes, it does actually. Yes,
So it's an IOU.
to the government.
Well, what do you mean the government? Because
Well, the bankers, isn't it?
yes, so it's printed by the Bank of England,
Yeah.
right? And you think that belongs to the government?
Well, I think the government have a hand in it, don't they?
Yeah, you can look up a bit now because we're just seeing the top of your head again. There you go. Well, if I told you like a pound, £1 related to weight of something, yeah?
Right.
What do you think that weight of something is? Or what?
£1. It's not even a quarter of an ounce, is it?
Yeah, but £1 of what?
Gold.
Gold. Okay, so kind of fuzzily know that the money in your pocket is supposed to relate to the value of
Gold.
something in the real world, in this case, gold, right?
Hmm.
So what if I told you that all money was a con?
Yeah.
And the only reason it has value is because you believe it has value.
True.
And
Yes.
that the banks that print the money around the world are actually privately owned companies.
Are they?
Yes. And that the governments, such as the government in the UK, is actually a corporation.
Right.
So it's a company that has to make a profit.
Oh, right. Okay, I get your drift now.
So money is one of the biggest
I thought the
contributors.
Bank of England made the money.
Yeah, but who owns the Bank of England?
Ah,
You
good
don't know.
question.
You don't know, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, the biggest central bank in the world is the Federal Reserve Bank in America.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah.
and did you know that was taken over as a private company in 1913?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so that's why the dollars in America say, Federal Reserve Bank, and they've got a picture of a pyramid on them with an all-seeing
Right.
on top of them. Anyway, so look, we're not actually talking deeply about money, but money, as you know, you probably don't remember, but I did a degree in economics. And
Of
during
course,
that,
I remember you did a degree in economics.
well, during that degree, we were never taught once in a 3-year degree, and I did an A-level for 2 years before that. So I did 5 years study of economics, and not once did any teacher ever mention the fractional reserve banking system and explain what money was. So in a nutshell, they realized, the bankers realized a long time ago that when people came and deposited gold for them to look after, other people came in to ask to borrow money or borrow gold. And instead of giving them gold, they gave them a note. And that said, I promise to pay the bearer upon demand the sum of whatever the weight of the gold was, right? So that's, and then they realized quickly that they could actually put out millions of these notes and never have to touch the gold. So the money that was out in circulation was all.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying the gold was never used then?
That's right. So the gold was supposed to stay in the bank, and the notes were given out to people, and they had a value because the people believed that the notes were equatable with the gold in the bank.
Right.
But what they ended up doing is, let's say, for example, they had £100 worth of gold, they would put out £1,000 worth of notes.
Okay.
That's why it's called fractional reserve, because they had that would be like a 10% ratio between the gold in the bank and the money in circulation.
Right.
Which means that 90% or more, most of the money is actually based on nothing.
Yes.
And then if they lent you money, they would also charge you interest on top.
Yeah, well, yes.
Okay. So that's talking about money, but we're going to talk about cryptocurrency in a minute. So what, if I say cryptocurrency to you, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Pretend.
Pretend?
Pretend money.
Why is it pretend money?
Well, isn't that the same as Bitcoin or whatever it's called?
So Bitcoin was the original cryptocurrency.
Right.
And the way cryptocurrency, the word crypto is short for cryptography. Cryptography is basically an extremely difficult mathematical equation.
Oh my God, you've lost me now.
Well, it's just an extremely difficult mathematical. You can look at the camera, Mum, because we're just seeing the top of your head. So cryptography is, no, I can just see you. You've got to see your face. Come on, point at your face, Mum.
Yes.
Down a bit. All I can see is your nose and your eye. There we go. Right, got your face. So
that's a pretty sight.
It's not. You're doing fine. Now listen. So crypto comes from cryptography. Cryptography is working out a very complicated sum, basically. So the cryptography of Bitcoin is worked out by a computer. So when the computer solves the puzzle, which takes time, electricity, energy, yeah? So it costs money to do it, then it creates what's called a Bitcoin, and it puts it on something called the blockchain.
Right.
Now, the blockchain, if you just imagine, the blockchain exists in cyberspace, inside computers. But what it actually is a ledger. Do you know what a ledger is?
Yeah, a book, an annual, to keep records.
Right. So if you ran a company and you had a ledger, you would keep a note of all the transactions.
This is where they get all the comment sorted.
Well, that's the thing, right? So in a ledger, if you ran a company, you can go and change those records anytime you want to suit the story that you want. Now, the difference between a paper ledger or even a computer ledger and one that's on the blockchain, the difference is that every transaction that's registered on the blockchain becomes irrefutable because it has to be verified. So you can't make a transaction, you can't undo it. Once the transaction's done, it's there.
Yes, it's in the ledger, yes.
So what it does is it stops all corruption, it stops all lies, and it also stops the middleman.
Right.
Okay? So at the beginning, when Bitcoin was created, a lot of people started, there were people like John Matonis, who was an economist, American economist, and he got this white paper sent to him by this chap, allegedly, it doesn't matter whether he exists or not, to be honest. And some people think that Bitcoin might have been created by the NSA, but it doesn't really matter who created it. The fact is, it's not going anywhere. And a Bitcoin today, do you know how much a Bitcoin is worth today?
I think it's a lot of money, because you asked me about that about 10 years ago, didn't you? 20 years ago.
Well, not 20 years ago, because Bitcoin's only just over 10 years old, but I did.
Well, I know it was 10 years ago at least.
I did buy Bitcoin in 2014.
Yes.
But when I bought it, I can't remember what the price was, but it's currently about $11,000 per Bitcoin.
Blimey.
Now, what's interesting is that originally the original Bitcoins were 0.001p each. They were nothing. So people that ran this cryptography programs on their computers, they would mine thousands and thousands of Bitcoins that were worth basically nothing.
Right.
But they did have an intrinsic value because the computer time and energy and electricity that it took to work that sum out had a value, so there was an actual cost attached to it. So it does have intrinsic value. The second thing about Bitcoin is that there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins ever made. So there's a limit.
Right. There's a limit on it. Why?
There's a limited supply, but because if you limit the supply of something, then it also has inherent value.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's a bit like gold in the bank. If there's only a limited supply of gold, then the value of that gold goes up as more people want it, because that's how supply and demand works. So what's happened over time is that Bitcoin has gone up in value because more and more people want it. So the value attributed to it is similar to the money in one respect, and that is that it's based upon what we believe it's worth.
Right.
Okay. But here's the clever thing about cryptocurrency. So if you transferred money in England to me in Ireland now, what actually happens to that money?
It goes to your account, doesn't it?
Does it just go straight into my account?
Well, I thought it did.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It goes through the SWIFT system.
Ah.
So it goes through an international banking system. And what happens is it gets sent to that system. They hold on to it for a period of time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
They charge a fee. They charge a fee. They charge a fee for doing the transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you imagine there's billions of transactions every hour, they also trade the money that they're holding and make money off the back of the money that they've got.
Yeah. Well, this is how banks work, isn't it?
Well, that's the classic middleman making money off your money, therefore making money off your labor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets transferred 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, whatever. I mean, when I was living in Morocco, sometimes it took 3 weeks to get international transfers in.
Well, I know that.
God knows what they were doing with the money. So the difference with cryptocurrency is that if I've got cryptocurrency in my wallet, which is on my computer, which is just literally an electric version of the wallet or your purse in your pocket, right? And I'm storing cryptocurrency in there, and I wanted to send you some cryptocurrency, and you had a wallet. It's just as easy as sending an email. So you'd give me your address, and I'd send it to your address, and then it would appear in your wallet within minutes.
In my wallet?
The wallet.
How does it do that? How does it go in my wallet? Not in my bank.
No, it goes into your wallet. So you need an electrical wallet on your computer or on your phone, and that's where you store your money. It's stored in your wallet. Now, if you then wanted to turn that into pounds or euros, you'd go to an exchange and just change it, and then get that money put into your bank account.
What sort of an exchange?
Just a place to exchange, the same as if you'd exchange like pounds for euros when you're going on holiday.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So an online exchange.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's called peer-to-peer. So you're one peer, I'm the other peer. So so cryptocurrency means that I can instantly transfer money to you without going through a middleman, without paying any fees, and without that middleman making any money on that transaction.
Don't let it stop you then. Carry on.
Say again?
Send me some money then.
Well, I'm gonna have to get you to download a crypto wallet, and I might actually do this. I mean, for anybody watching, Anybody watching that's got a mum who's not very good with computers, I think my mum probably tops off. It's top of that list.
Look, I'm doing all right.
You're doing well. You're doing great. It only took you half an hour to get the Zoom on the phone. It's good.
That's okay.
No, it's not bad. You've done well. You've done well.
Is that Joe laughing in the back?
No, Joe's not here.
Oh.
So, do you understand what cryptocurrency is now?
Well, I'm getting a bit wiser, yes. I was a bit confused with the Bitcoin, but now the crypto thing is it.
Right, do you want to turn your thing off because somebody's ringing you? Can you just? Oh, actually, it's me. Sorry, I didn't turn Facebook off. So, do you want to explain cryptocurrency back to me? Look at the camera if you can, so we can see your face because we can't. There we go. Do you want to explain it back to me? What the key differences are? Oh, I can't hear you now. You've gone. You've turned your sound off. Oh, this was going well. I'm blaming you for all the technical stuff. It's me. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, do you want to explain cryptocurrency back to me? What the difference is between cryptocurrency and government-backed or government-issued?
Cryptocurrency is electronically sent to you and received.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banking is a totally different thing. I mean, if they get hold of your money, they're going to make money on it, aren't they?
Well, do you remember what you used to say to me when I was a kid?
What was that?
If I said to you, "Oh, can you buy me a new bike for Christmas?" and you used to say, "I'm not." Do you remember the name of the person you used to say? Began with an R. You used to say this to me when I was a kid. You used to say, "What do you think I am, Rocker?"
Oh, Rothschilds.
And the other one, Rockefeller. Yeah, you've turned your sound off again. Dear oh dear.
Unmute.
There we go. Right. So do you remember you used to say, "What am I, Rothschild?"
Rothschilds or Rockefeller, yeah.
So I'm just interested. What was your perspective? What did you think Rothschild and Rockefeller were 50 years ago? Who were they?
Just very wealthy people.
Is that all you knew about them?
That's all I knew about them, yes.
Yeah. So did you know that they controlled the whole banking system?
I didn't know, no, but I've learned since, yes.
So they controlled the whole banking system.
Yeah.
Did you know that the Rothschilds took over England in 1815?
I do, because you told me that.
Yeah. Do you remember how they did it?
No.
So there was the Napoleonic Wars. There was the big battle.
Oh, that's it. The Napoleonic.
Battle of Waterloo with
Battle of Waterloo. Yeah, I do now. Yeah.
And the Rothschild had a better spy network than the British government, so they came back and they let out the information that Wellington had lost, and then all the share prices in the stock exchange in London went down through the floor. So the Rothschilds came in and just bought it all up super cheap. And then the next day, the news came in that said Napoleon had won. Share prices went back up. Rothschilds became the richest, most powerful people in Britain. And that
do you not think that's what's happening now with this COVID?
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up, because the whole COVID thing is part of the Rothschilds and all of those guys.
Well, I'm beginning to think that now, because I mean it's ridiculous the way it's going, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the feeling? I mean, you're in Birmingham. What's the feeling over there?
Nobody really talks to me about things like that, because there's only that chap down the road. I mean, he knows about it, and I don't see him that often to talk about it. But
people still wearing masks everywhere?
Well, yes. I mean, I went to have some new tyres put on today because I'm going away on Saturday. And they needed some new tyres, and the ridiculous thing, I mean, open garage, and I'm having to wear a mask, and I've got to put sanitizer on before I put my number in and after I put my number in. And I said, well, what's the point of that? And he couldn't answer me.
Well, that's the thing. That's people just following orders. But the reason I wanted to talk to you about cryptocurrency was to sort of illustrate the fact that very few people even know what money is, let alone what cryptocurrency is.
Well, yeah, because people of my age, Matt, they've got money in their purse. They've been paid their pension, blah, blah, blah. and they know that's their limit they can spend, and they can't think any further than that. Sometimes I don't. I just say, "Oh right, thank you very much. I've got my month's money, and I know how to spend it." And you've got cash in your purse, but you don't think of it as anything else really, because we weren't brought up the way you were
Well,
to
to be
think
honest,
beyond things.
well, to be honest, Mum, it's not age has nothing to do with it.
Oh,
There are
I do think age has got a lot to do
No,
with
no,
that.
really, it really isn't. There are idiots at all ages, and there are people that think, it doesn't. Age really isn't anything to do with it. It's just about having an inquiring mind. I mean, there's loads of people my age that don't know what cryptocurrency is. There's loads of people in there. There's loads of teenagers that don't know what cryptocurrency is. It doesn't matter. The age isn't relevant. I really don't think it's about the age. It's just about accepting. There's just a certain type of person that doesn't accept the information that the government gives them or questions everything. So I don't.
The government don't actually tell us anything, do they? Really?
Well, that's why I'm having this chat with you, because over the years
Yeah.
you've known I've talked about a lot of this stuff a lot, and you've realised that the people around you don't know anything about this stuff, right?
Well, yes. I mean, it's pointless trying to talk to them because I mean,
Can you
they just look at me. They look at me gaga.
Who's got you gaga?
They look at me gaga as I'm going gaga. I mean, Sue, I'm taking Sue away for a holiday next week.
Don't mention people's names because this is going on YouTube. So
yeah. Sue won't mind. She don't go on YouTube.
Yeah, she will. Listen, if you're watching this, I stopped saying anything. All right, so let's just stop that one there. All right, let's just leave that. Right. Right, Mum. I'll do a catch-up call with you in a week and see if you understand crypto, and we'll try and set you up with a wallet, shall we?
Yeah, okay then.
Although I think trying to get you to set up a wallet might end up with me ending my own life, but I don't know if I've got the patience.
No, try it. If it don't work.
All right, brilliant. I'm gonna have to go now, but thanks a lot for that, Mum. I hope that was useful to anybody watching.
Yeah, okay.
Click subscribe and like and share this if it's useful, and show it to your own mum, because and by the way, Mum, the reason why I forgot to tell you why I wanted to talk to you about crypto. The reason why I think everybody needs to start understanding what cryptocurrency is because it does look highly likely that there's a new financial system coming in, which is going to release lots and lots of money for everybody, and it's going to have a cryptocurrency element to it.
All right.
Because
you're going to give us money for nothing.
It's not money for nothing. You're owed millions. Did you know that?
Well, no, but it'd be very nice to get it.
Well, yeah, but you are owed it because your when you were born, your birth certificate was actually. Do you know your birth certificate is actually a financial instrument?
Is it?
And it's a con. It's a con on the baby because the baby doesn't know anything. It's a con on the parents because they think they're registering their birth. But actually, what that is signing over your baby to the state or to the government, the corporation. They then trade that certificate on markets across the world. I found out the other day that my birth certificate's been traded nearly 300,000 times in 50 years.
No way.
Now, if you imagine that each trade made a profit of $10, that's $3 million.
Well, in what way can they trade it then?
Well, they basically, you are nothing more than a commodity. You're nothing more than a farmyard animal to the people that own these banks. And they're all Satanists. I've told you this before. They're all satanic paedophiles. You know that?
Yes.
The whole government system, the whole corporations, the whole media system, they're all run by these monsters that literally treat us, you, me, everybody, like less than farmyard animals. So they trade us as a commodity in the same way that they trade sheep and corn or whatever. They're just trading a piece of paper that represents a legal fiction that that they create for you when you're born. So there is potentially a new thing called the quantum financial system coming in, which will be a massive liberation for the human race if it's true. I don't know 100% that it's true, but I'm hoping that it is true, because if it is, it will change everything. The world will change beyond belief. And I really, really want you to see that, because if that happens, because this current situation, this COVID thing was all part of the plan to kill 6 billion of us. And that's really what we want. That's really what they wanted to do. So promise me no vaccines. Don't go to any doctors. Call me first. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not taking vaccines. No way.
Good, good, good. All right. Look, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
go. Thanks, Mum.
Okay.
Well done.
Bye
Well done. Your
bye.
first Zoom call.
Bye.
See you later. Love you. Bye.